welcome to the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Schools of Specialized Excellence. This is the SOSC video series. Today, we will talk about the admission process for the academic year 2025-26. In today's session, we will discuss an overview of the admission process. What are the eligibility criteria for students? The application form. Round 1 of the selection process, which is the aptitude test and the pattern for the test. The second round of the selection process and what that will entail. And finally, the final admission to the schools of specialized excellence. To start with, let's see what the admission process will look like for the academic year 2025-26, which is the next academic year. Admissions are open across all 5 specializations. For humanities, admissions are open in class 9 and class 11. For STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, admissions are open for class 9 and class 11. In the Shaheed Bhagat Singh Armed Forces Preparatory School, admissions are open for class 9 and class 11. For high-end 21st century skills and performing in visual arts, admissions are open for class 9 only. Please note that admissions are opening for the coming academic year, that is, for students going to class 9 or class 11 in April 2025. Admissions in class 11 will be against vacant seats in relevant SOSC campuses only. At least 50% seats in each SOSC will be filled from students of government schools or government-aided schools in Delhi. The reservations are as follows. For scheduled caste, 15%. For scheduled tribe, 7.5%. For other backward sections, non-creamy layer, there is a reservation vacant seats in relevant SOSC campuses only. At least 50% seats in each SOSC will be filled from students of government schools or government-aided schools in Delhi. The reservations are as follows. For scheduled caste, 15%. For scheduled tribe, 7.5%. For other backward sections, non-creamy layer, there is a reservation of 27% as per the norms of the Delhi government. And for Divyang students, there is a reservation of 3% in accordance with the Government of India norms. Now, let's see the steps involved in the admission process. Firstly, application sent in accordance with the Government of India norms. Now, let's see the steps involved in the admission process. Firstly, application forms are open from 24th December 2024 to 30th January 2025. All students who have filled in the application will be issued an admit card which can be downloaded from the official website. The first round of the selection process, which is the aptitude test, will be held for all applicants. Please note that for STEM, there is only one round. There will be no second round conducted for STEM applicants. Successful candidates for STEM schools will be directly offered provisional admission, as we will discuss ahead. For other specializations, all successful students who secure the relevant cutoff marks as determined by SOSC will be shortlisted for the second round. The second round test will be conducted for shortlisted students for humanities, high-end 21st century skills, performing in visual arts, and the Armed Forces Preparatory School. Students who have cleared the second round will be offered provisional admission into the SOSCs. Remember, STEM applicants who clear the first aptitude test will directly be offered provisional admission. Final admission will be offered after submission of relevant documentation. Now, let's discuss the eligibility criteria. Which students can apply for admission to the SOSCs? Firstly, candidates must be residents of the National Capital Territory of Delhi and have a valid address proof. Secondly, candidates must be studying in a recognized school in the National Capital Territory of Delhi. For admission into class 9, students must be currently studying in class 8. And for admissions into class 11, students must currently be studying in class 10. Please note that for admission into class 9, a student who is currently in class 9 or above in the current academic year will not be eligible. Similarly, for admission into class 11, a student who is currently in class 11 or above will not be eligible. 31st March 2025. For Class 9, the candidates must have completed the age of 13 years but should not be older than 15 years as on 31st March 2025. Similarly, for Class 11, the candidate must have completed the age of 15 years but should not be older than 17 years as on 31st March 2025. Age relaxations as per the norms of the Directorate of Education, Government of Delhi would apply to this. Note, however, that for admissions in Class 9, any student who is currently studying in Class 8 in a recognized school of Delhi and is a resident of Delhi can apply irrespective of age. This means that the above age criteria will not apply to you so long as you are studying in Class 8, are studying in a recognized school in the NCT of Delhi, and are a resident of the NCT of Delhi. Similarly, for admissions in Class 11, any student who is currently studying in Class 10 in a recognized school of Delhi and is a resident of Delhi can apply irrespective of age. In order to apply for admission under any reserved category, candidates should have a valid certificate approved by the Delhi government. In case of OBC certificate, non-creamy layer, only certificates issued by the government of NCT of Delhi will be considered. The category certificates are required to be produced at the time of admission. If these are not produced, the admission offer will be cancelled. After the eligibility criteria, let's come to the application form, which is the first step for any candidate applying for SOSCs. Application forms should only be filled online. To apply, please visit www.education.delhi.gov.in/SOSC/admission. The application form can also be accessed through the official SOSC website, that is www.edudel.nic.in/SOSC. Candidates are required to register themselves on the web portal before filling in the application form. Please check the description box below, where you can find the official form link as well as the link to a tutorial on how to fill the application form. The link on the screen and in the description box is the only website through which application forms can be submitted. Please use the official website and beware of any suspicious and unauthorized websites. No fee is required to be paid for filling in the application form for SOSCs. After successfully submitting the application form, all applicants will be issued admit cards. The admit card will indicate the date of the aptitude test and the center allocated to you. Admit cards can be downloaded from the official admissions portal of SOSC. Applicants will be informed when admit cards are available. The aptitude test is the first round of the admission selection process. This year, 2 aptitude tests will be conducted instead of separate aptitude tests for each specialization. All students appearing for STEM schools or the Shaheed Bhagat Singh Armed Forces Preparatory School will attempt a common aptitude test. Similarly, all students appearing for humanities, performing in visual arts, or high and 21st century skills will attempt a common aptitude test. This means that if you have applied for admission to both humanities and performing and visual arts, you will need to attempt only one aptitude test. However, if you have applied for STEM as well as humanities, you will need to attempt 2 separate aptitude tests. The aptitude test for STEM and AFPS will be only in English. The aptitude test for humanities, performing in visual arts, and high and 21st century skills will be bilingual. That is, questions will be both in Hindi and in English. However, the language ability section will have questions to test your proficiency in both Hindi and in English. Now, let's see the pattern for the aptitude test for STEM and AFPS schools. The aptitude test for STEM and AFPS schools will focus on logical reasoning, problem solving, and analytical skills. The aptitude test for STEM and AFPS will be only in English. There will be negative marking for incorrect answers. The duration of the aptitude test will be 3 hours. The test will be conducted in a pen and paper format at the allocated centers mentioned in your admit card. The test for STEM and AFPS schools will cover the following sections in multiple choice question or MCQ format: mathematical ability, verbal and non-verbal reasoning, scientific aptitude, and logical reasoning. Now, let's see the pattern for the aptitude test for the humanities, high-end 21st century skills, and performing and visual arts specializations. This is a common aptitude test for all three specializations. The test will focus on creativity, critical thinking, communication, and interdisciplinary competencies. The aptitude test for humanities, performing and visual arts, and high-end 21st century skills will be bilingual. That is, questions can be attempted in both Hindi and in English. However, the language ability section will have questions to test your proficiency in both English and in Hindi. That is, in the language ability section, there will be separate Hindi questions and separate English questions, and candidates will need to attempt all the questions, both English and Hindi. There will be negative marking for incorrect answers. The duration of the aptitude test will be 3 hours. The test will be conducted in a pen and paper format at the allocated centers mentioned in the admit card. The test will cover the following sections in multiple choice question or MCQ format: logical reasoning, verbal and non-verbal reasoning, data interpretation, and language ability, which will have questions testing proficiency in both English and in Hindi. After the results of the aptitude test, a second round of the admission selection process will be conducted for shortlisted students for the following specializations: humanities, high-end 21st century skills, performing and visual arts, and armed forces preparatory school. Remember, we had discussed earlier that there is no second round for STEM schools. Provisional admission will be offered to successful students of round 1 aptitude test directly for STEM schools. The second round will be domain specific. For humanities, the second round will be a focus group discussion on a topic which will be given on the spot. Performing and visual arts schools offer 3 specializations: music, visual arts, and filmmaking, acting, and media studies. Depending on the specialization chosen by the candidate, the second round will have a music audition round for candidates of the music specialization, a drawing or sketching activity for candidates of the visual arts specialization, or for candidates in the filmmaking, acting, and media studies specialization, a domain-based task or prompt followed by an interview. For students appearing in the second round for admission in the Shaheed Bhagat Singh Armed Forces Preparatory School, an interview and a physical screening will be conducted. For high-end 21st century skills, students appearing in the second round will receive the prompts. Successful candidates from the first round for STEM and the second round for the other specializations will be offered provisional admission to the SOSEs. Final admissions will be given once all relevant documents. Provisional admission to the SOSEs. Final admissions will be given once all relevant documents, including category certificates, school leaving certificates, and other required documents, are submitted to the official website, and the application forms, school leaving certificates, and other required documents are submitted and found to be in order. Apply now. The link to the official website and the application form are given in the description box below. If you have any queries, please email at sose@doe.delhi.gov.in or send in your query through the Contact Us or Register a Query section in the application portal.